Hi, Bill. Or Margot. Hey, hey, Susan. Ah, you got on a great Lincoln shirt, Anissa.
Hi, Miss Carol.
I love it.
And that's actually one of my pictures from when I ran for SGA. I took some
Okay,
pictures for it.
nice,
Yeah.
nice. That's not. I was trying to get Langston Hughes in the background there. Is that suppose? Can't hear you, Susan. Unmute.
Yes, I the first thing I said, and of course I was muted, was, "Oh, I see Langston. You have a
Yes.
background, the wonderful picture of him at the train station."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to move it over, but I don't know. I'm not very good at that.
Oh yeah, because you're kind of hiding his face.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to move.
Right. That's what I have to do. Okay. That's what I do.
Is
Good point.
coming to sci-fi.
Hmm?
I think.
Yeah. You let your hair grow. My goodness.
I haven't had a haircut since COVID.
I know.
Yeah, it kind of grew.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good on you.
Mark said, "Oh, I love the long hair. You know, like I haven't had long hair for years. And
Really?
even long. You remember how
It grows
you
fast
had
then.
really long hair, much
Yeah.
longer.
Hello, Susan.
Hello, whoever.
It's
You see
Robert
it?
Johnson.
Oh,
Rob
Rob Johnson.
Johnson.
oh, hi.
How are you?
Good. Now,
Wonderful.
that's a virtual background, right?
Of course not.
Yeah, my computer isn't good enough to put on virtual
No,
backgrounds.
it's a
Yeah.
virtual background, yes.
Yeah, so.
So frustrating when you can't, because I have a laptop. I can't do anything with it, and it is old. So
Yeah.
I was so glad when I got this computer. I got it last summer.
Uh-huh.
What a difference new technology makes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. How's Mark doing? All right?
Yeah, he's on hold with somebody.
Right.
He's been on hold forever. But it's funny because I wasn't necessarily planning to come to this, but Marilyn called me and she said, "Well, I'll see you in a half hour." I said,
Oh,
"Okay."
okay.
Here I am.
Actually, you are part of the group. That's Marilyn calling. Hello. Hello?
Susan, tell Mark hello.
Yeah.
I will.
Okay.
I thought I just saw your Zoom invitation and I didn't realize that I needed to send it to students.
Oh, I sent it to them.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's good.
Okay.
Carol's
Yeah,
on
one
Okay, so
student, one student on at least.
Okay. So I'm waiting to get on. Do you have to let me in?
You know what? I didn't mean to have this darn waiting room on. I gotta figure out take it off.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's a pain.
Yeah,
You have to
I keep forgetting to
watching
look at it.
people come in. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're good.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm gonna hang up. My apology. I forget to look at that thing. I didn't want it. I hate waiting rooms.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how do I see it.
Is it under settings? I'm not a real Zoom aficionado, but.
Well, let me see.
Anyway.
I think if you, it must have been a feature that it must have been a default feature, then I didn't undefault it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So my latest Lincoln list,
The list of,
students.
oh, okay. Oh, we have more?
No, we don't. I just
Oh,
don't have the updated one, the one I did. In fact, I'm going to get that right now.
Hello, Nazira. I love your Lincoln Lions in the back. Is that your room or office?
I'm at school. This is the varsity lounge for athletes.
All right. I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
Nazira, I'm glad you're back on campus.
Yeah, it's snowing pretty bad here today.
It is.
Yeah, they closed the university, but we still had practice.
You still have practice indoor or not outdoors?
The warm up was outdoors in the snow and then indoors.
Oh, God.
Mr. Purnell, Bill Wiggins here. I have to ask you a question. As an old track and field person, what is your event or what are your events?
Yeah, so I run cross country and I'm a mid distance runner. So the 800, the 400. I do 400 hurdles, but the
Oh,
lowest
really?
one I do is 4x4.
Yeah. Well, that's
Great.
good. I'm an old hurdler from way back. Ran with John Carlos and Frank Shorter. I ran everything from the 100 up to 10 miles and used to be the fastest hurdler in New York State.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Once upon a time. And yeah, John Carlos went to Machine and Metal Trades and Bobby Beeman went to Benjamin Franklin High. And we were some bad dudes, I tell you. And I was invited to the Olympic trials for 68, but didn't go because no Vietnamese ever called me the N-word. So case closed.
Okay.
I wouldn't have made it anyway, I don't think, but you run some good stuff. That 400-meter hurdles, that's a killer, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a tough race.
All right, I'm finished. I'm sorry, Sister Black.
That's fine. I just want to know how good she is. I mean, are you our best hurdler or you have some competition at Lincoln for that title?
No, I'm #1 in all of the events I do here, and I have a couple records at Lincoln.
Fantastic. I'll tell
Great.
you. Oh God, where do I get these people? Okay, waiting room. Admit. That's Miss Deja.
Oh, good. I was just going to send her an email.
Beautiful photo. And Mia, we gonna see you today?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Good.
It's good.
I get to see Ms. Deja Outerbridge.
Yes. Okay. Oh God, I got to keep looking at this stupid room here. Oh, I can get rid of it.
Carol, if you like, you can make someone a co-host and they can take care of those
Oh,
chairs for you.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
who can I make co-host to do that?
Somebody who want to volunteer.
I can do it.
Who said that?
That's me, Marilyn.
Oh, Mary. Oh, okay. Fantastic.
Mhm. I just sent the other kids an email. All right, so we have 10 participants.
Gotta watch that room.
Yeah.
I usually never. It's not an option that I like anyway.
Mhm.
Actually, it's a good option because these sessions can be hijacked.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and people can do some nasty things with them. So
That's right. Yes, I've heard of that happen.
it's a
Were
good
you
idea
on
to-
for that trustee meeting, Marilyn, when they did that?
No, I didn't. I heard about it.
Oh my God, it was the pit.
Oh,
It
geez.
was like a half hour of the worst porno you have ever seen.
Oh,
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 oh my God. Were you on there, Ajua, that day?
No, I would have remembered it.
It's like it wouldn't stop. It was horrible.
Sounds like a 7th grade plank trick.
And they were trying to call the company to stop it. And we kept saying the only thing you can possibly do is, send out a new notice, new room and whatever. So after maybe like 40 minutes, actually, they said, oh, we're going to have to stop this one and have everybody log back in. Duh.
Yeah, they should have done that immediately.
Duh. There's Mia. There's another one with long hair. Good Lord. You people are surprising me. Wonderful.
Yeah, sometimes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Kia, Anissa.
She's got her hoodie on, and let's see what's on your what does your sweater, your hoodie say?
It's my organization reconstruction, the 17th.
Okay.
Yeah, you look nice and warm. Well, look, I got old school.
That's right. Good.
See you.
I got orange and blue, but my pants have Lincoln on it, but the shirt doesn't. That's it. Okay.
Let me see. No, I'm teasing.
No. I didn't put the pants. I didn't say the matching, but I got the pants on I had on are warm.
Yeah, folks have much snow out that way?
Oh yeah. Well, it's only about 2-3 inches now, but we're getting some rain, and then it's supposed to get another foot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 20 something for us.
20 what?
I want to
Inches?
say, yeah,
Whoa.
20 inches.
Wow.
Where are you at?
Probably a little bit more.
Where are you?
Lehigh Valley, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
Dr. Button, I left you a message in the chat, please.
Okay.
It's the same message I left the last time and the time before that.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Oh, please send your cell contact. Okay, great. I will do that.
Thank you.
I'll do that. I usually give my students my home phone number because I'm more solidly prepared to respond with, but if you'd like the cell, it's fine with me.
I'll send you a quick text and I'll get the answer whenever.
Hey, Dwight, how you doing?
All right. Hey, Rob.
Good.
Hello,
Hey,
everybody.
Dwight.
Hey, everybody.
You need to Zoom.
Oh, good. Kaya came. Miss Mosley's here. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 students.
Hey.
All right. It is now 10.
Again. Reardon, please.
I'm sorry?
Would you please let Kathy Reardon in?
I did not see her listed as needing to come in. Abigail is here. Is she there? I don't see her name here. Her name is,
Maybe she went to a different link. Is that possible?
The 2 Kayas right together. Okay. Kaya Mosley, do you know Kaya Punter?
No, I do not.
No, okay. She's sitting right next to you. Although she's in what? You said Lehigh County?
Lehigh Valley.
Lehigh
North
Valley?
Hampton County.
And Kaya, where are you? Philly or Jersey?
Oh, New Jersey.
New Jersey, okay.
Yeah.
finally, Miss Chalmers got here. I think, Carol, when the email came from you, probably they missed it,
Oh,
but they'll know for the next time because it's the standard. Have you gone to recurring? So will we get a message all the time or not?
yes, all the time.
Great. Coming from you, that's perfect.
Mhm.
Okay. We're still missing a few, but I think maybe we should start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so as far as students are concerned, I have Tamara Chalmers, Mia Joseph, Kaya Mosley, Deja Outerbridge, Kaya Punter, Nazira, Pernell, Abigail, Seraphim, and Anissa Barber. Am I missing anybody who's here? So we're missing Taylor Shelton, Shania DuBose, and Anissa Barber McFish. Not bad.
No, Anissa's on. Barbara McNish is on.
She's on. Oh, great. Good.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, good. Oh, hi. Okay, I'm sorry. I missed.
Hello.
Hello. And so Taylor and Shania. So I think we should start today. So
Sure.
I'll take my gavel and knock it on.
Yeah, right.
Here we go. We said that we were going to start today by celebrating Langston Hughes, whose birthday was on the 1st of February. And we invited you to bring your favorite poem and to share it with us and give a little word about why you like that poem particularly. So the floor is open, and I'm sorry I haven't greeted our friends by name. So I'm not taking attendance on our mentors. I figured they're in good shape the way they are. Thank you all for coming. And so the floor is open to sharing, talking about Langston Hughes.
And I do one before somebody steals it from me.
Absolutely. That gives you another opportunity to, here comes Kathy Reardon, to
Okay.
let the students, remind the students of who you are and where you are, if you don't mind.
Oh, I'm Rob Johnson from the class of 1967.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we doing poetry now? Or are we doing introductions?
No, we're doing,
No,
no, we don't want to introduce the at
No.
length. We want to hear
What should I do?
poems.
the poem, yeah.
Okay. The Negro Speaks of Rivers by
Oh.
Langston Hughes.
That's a great one.
I've known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I hear the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans. I've seen its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. That speaks to me because he's talking about um, our connection to Africa, as well as our experience during the period of enslavement and other periods in our history. It speaks to me because I crossed the river and I've crossed oceans. And so I've been to Africa and I've crossed many rivers there. And then, very significantly, after I left Lincoln and went to Europe and came back to Philly, my hometown, I crossed the Mississippi River and have stayed here ever since. And so for over, I don't know, almost 50 years now, more than 50 years, I've been on this side of the Mississippi River, west of the Mississippi River, with all of its significance and history. But I do get back to the East Coast, so I'm not permanently installed here.
Are you sure, Rob?
Well, oh yeah, I'm here for the long haul, but in terms of my roots are on the other
In
side.
Philly, I know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And on the East Coast as well.
Mm-hmm.
And now, actually, I even have roots in Africa. So.
Now, did you take that picture behind you?
Yes.
Wow. And this is
from Cape Coast and Ghana.
Yeah.
And it's at the point of what they call the slave castles there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
Do you know your tribe?
No, I haven't gone that far.
Okay.
I mean, I'm connected to Senegal, but that's through marriage and friendship and other connections.
I thought it might interest us to hear Langston Hughes explain how he put the poem together. So I'm going to share my screen for just a second. It takes a couple of minutes. And I thought it was really instructive.
One of my earliest poems, written in 19... was that I was going to Mexico to visit my father who lived in Mexico City, and on the train going across the Mississippi River, just outside St. Louis, I looked out the window and I saw this great muddy river flowing down toward the heart of the South, and I began to think about what this river meant to the Negro events, our history was linked to this river. How in slavery time, my grandmother told me that to be sold down the Mississippi was one of the worst things that could happen to a Negro slave. And then I remembered that I'd read about Abraham Lincoln going down the Mississippi as a young man. He went on a raft to New Orleans, and he saw human beings bought and sold in the slave market there. And he was so horrified by this that he never forgot it. And many years later, of course, we know that it was Lincoln who signed the Emancipation Proclamation. So as the train went on into the gathering dusk, because it had been about sunset when we crossed the river, I took my father's letter out of my pocket and began to write down on the back of his letter this poem, The Negro Speaks of Rivers. I've known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and made the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I have seen its muddy bosom turn all gold. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers.
Thank you for sharing that, Dr. Button.
Very nice.
It helped me to understand how he wrote it. I'm sorry, I'm having a little, okay.
And next will be Nazira, and after Nazira is going to be Ajua by their request.
Okay, thanks. I just didn't want anyone to take mine.
I already took mine. Yeah, okay.
Let's see. Okay, so I chose the poem Harlem that Langston wrote in 1951 as part of his book, The Montage of a Dream Deferred. Okay. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over, like a syrupy sweet? Or maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? And this poem really spoke to me. I know it considers the harm that's caused when racial equality was continuously delayed, because he wrote it before the civil rights era. So ultimately, it suggests that society would have to reckon with this dream eventually, as dreamers would claim what's rightfully theirs. And I think that kind of can be seen today. Well, it kind of mirrors today's society with the Black community fighting for issues like education. Me personally, I feel like I want to create disruptive change in the education sector. So that was just one thing where I feel like we've been fighting so long for certain things that still have yet to come.
Good choice. Ajua?
Hi, good evening. I chose African American Fragment. Talk about, it speaks of Africa, and it speaks of Africa. Hold on.
We can't hear you.
Muted?
Oh.
So anyway, it speaks of Africa and things that you would not know and things that I heard growing up, but many things became the reality when I had the opportunity to visit Egypt twice and even Jerusalem twice.
Wow.
Consequently, the same year, apart. It was never planned that way, it just happened that way. But Afro-American Fragment, so long, so far away is Africa. Not even memories alive, save those that history books create. Save those that songs beat back into the blood. Beat out of blood with words and sad song and strange un-Negro tongue. So long, so far away is Africa. Subdued and time lost, are the drums, and yet through some vast mist of race, there comes this song. I do not understand. This song is our atavistic land of bitter yearnings lost without a place. So long, so far away is Africa's dark face.
Mm.
And it's Black History Month, so I'm reading a poem every day, but I'm making a student tell me a poem from any contributor this month. That's my science contribution.
Great, great.
So long, so far away, and it became a reality. And even the Nile, Robert Johnson, amazing. Pyramids, the history, from Cairo to Aswan. Kathy's going with me next time. We planning a date.
What was the title of the poem again, Edra?
African American Fragment. I'll send it to you next that you'll read one.
Thank you.
Actually, the alumni have been planning to take a trip to Egypt for the last 2 years, but COVID has stopped us. And I don't think we're going to make it this year. But hopefully next year. And we want students to come too. So keep that in mind.
I got my passport ready.
Good, good.
Kaya.
Next. Can I? Oh, sorry.
Sure. Is that Kaya? Sure.
Yes. I'm reading from my laptop.
Kaya wants to be my hoodie sister.
Right? It's called Theme for English B.
Hey.
Oh, I had that one. Okay, that's fun. Okay.
So the instructor said, go home and write a page tonight and let that page come out of you. Then it will be true. I wonder if it's that simple. I'm 22, colored, born in Winston-Salem. I went to school there, then Durham, then here to this college on the hill above Harlem. I'm the only colored student in my class. The steps from the hills led down in Harlem through a park, then across St. Nicholas, 8th Ave, 7th, and I come to the Y, the Harlem branch Y, where I take the elevator up to my room, sit down, and write this paper. It's not easy to know what is true for you or me at 22, my age, but I guess I'm what I feel and see and hear. Harlem, I hear you. Hear you, hear me, we, to you, me, talk on this page. I hear New York too. Me, we. Excuse me, me who. Well, I like to eat, sleep, drink, and be in love. I like to work, read, and learn and understand life. I like a pipe. Oops, excuse me. Where'd it go? I like a pipe for a Christmas present, or records of Bessie, Bop, or Bach. I guess being colored doesn't make it not like the same thing other folks like, who are other races. So will my page be colored that I write? Being me, it will not be white. It will be a part of you, instructor. You are white, yet a part of me as I'm a part of you. That's American. Sometimes perhaps we don't want to be a part of me, nor do I often want to be a part of you. But we are, that's true. As I learn from you, I guess you learn from me. Although you're older and white, somewhat more free. This is my page for the English B. So
Very
for
good.
me, I picked that one because I heard it last semester, and me being from the South as well as him, I understand that individual feeling of being the only Black person in the class, even though it's not around the same time. I may not have endured what he has, but I know his transition from the South to the North. So I understand.
That's great.
I happened to pick that one because he hated Columbia. And I was glad he did, because that eventually is what brought him to Lincoln University.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go next?
Who is that, Mia? Sure.
Yes. I chose advice. Folks, I'm telling you, birthing is hard. Dying is mean. So get yourself a little loving in between. I thought that poem was really cute because I feel like we as a society have always been conditioned to be really rough on ourselves and work ourselves like to an extent where we often forget to rest and just take care of ourselves a little bit. I feel like for something that was written so long ago and we're still actively having to tell ourselves, do self-care, take care of yourself, speaks a lot of volumes. And he's right. Life is so hard. So why are we not being kinder to ourselves and to each other? I don't know, but it just touched me because I feel like sometimes we're just really so hard on ourselves, and oftentimes for nothing, because times usually show that things usually work out for the greater good. So although we may not understand why things are not happening the way that we want it to for us right now, we should still be a little kind to ourselves in the process.
Mhm. What's the name of that poem?
Advice.
Advice. Okay, great. Who's next?
I'll go.
All righty, Deja.
I chose, I too, I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They call me to the kitchen. They call me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody will dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America. And I just feel like in the poem, he was kind of like seeing a future, because you could obviously see in the text that he was talking about segregation because he had to eat on the table and stuff like that, but he's seen a better future. He's seen a time where so he wouldn't have to eat in the kitchen anymore, and people would actually recognize him other than his skin color. They'll recognize him as a person.
Mhm. Good job. Who's next? Okay, Bill.
Let me make a confession here. I'm so appreciative and wedded to his essay, Dear Dr. Butts, but it's long and it's not a poem. So I suppose I would be irresponsible in not following the instructions that it'd be a poem. It's an essay. So as I thought about it, it's rather long. I recommend that you all get a chance to read Dear Dr. Butts, but I'm going to read something else, Let America Be America Again. And I just decided to go to that within the last 2 or 3 minutes. But don't forget the Dear Dr. Butts letter, please read it, because what he does is talk about the so-called Negro leaders during the 1940s and 50s and how they tell African Americans that, well, things may be bad, but they're much worse in Russia. Or they may be bad in the United States and New York, but they can be worse if you were in Mississippi. But you have these problems, but other people have these, and so he goes on to say, your butt is always in the way. You can't get around it. You can't get under it, etc. He butts everything around. So he says, Dear Dr. Butts, go up to 7th Street and DC in the nighttime and see if you still have your butt after you pass by Howard University or something to that effect. I just wanted to share that, but let me go ahead and read this, if you will. And let me make sure I can pull it up here again, because again, it's a edit thing. And for me, and for most of you probably, let's not be fooled by the title of this poem, Let America Be America Again. But many of the things that he wrote really are relevant today. Let's forget about Make America Great Again, because America was never great for all of its denizens or so-called citizens. Well, you know that. I don't have to tell you that. I wish that we did have a great America that was inclusive and so on. But let me read it. Langston Hughes, Let America Be America Again. And it reads, Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plain, seeking a home where he himself is free. America never was America to me. Let America be the dream is dreamed. Let it be that great strong land of love, where never kings connive, nor tyrants scheme. that any man be crushed by one above. It never was America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic wreath, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. Say, who are you that mumbles in the dark? And who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery's scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the rope I seek and finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I am the young man full of strength and hope, tangled in that ancient endless chain of profit, power, gain, of grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the ways of satisfying need, of work the men, of take the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. I am the farmer, bondsman to the soil. I am the worker sold to the machine. I am the Negro, servant to you all. And the people humble, hungry, mean, hungry yet today despite the dream, beaten yet today. Oh, pioneers, I am the man who never got ahead, the poorest worker bartered through the years. Yet I'm the one who dreamt a basic dream in the old world while still a serf of kings, who dreamt a dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet its mighty daring sings. In every brick and stone, in every furrow turned, that made America the land it has become. Oh, I'm the man who sailed those early seas in search of what I meant to be my home. For I'm the one who left dark Ireland's shore and Poland's plain and England's grassy lea, and torn from black Africa's strand, I come to build a homeland of the free. The free? Who said the free? Not me. Surely not me. The millions on relief today, the millions shot down when we strike, the millions who have nothing for our pay, for all the dreams we've dreamed and all the songs we've sung and all the hopes we've held and all the flags we've hung, the millions who have nothing for our pay, except a dream that's almost dead today. Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has been yet, and yet must be, the land where every man is free, the land that's mine, the poor man's, Indians, Negroes, me. Who made America? Whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the foundry, whose plow in the rain, must bring back our mighty dream again. Sure, call me any ugly name you choose. The steel of freedom does not stain. From those who live like leeches on the people's lives, we must take back our land again, America. Oh yes, I say it plain, America never was America to me, and yet I swear this oath, America will be. Out of the rack and ruin of our gangster death, the rape and rot of graft and stealth and lies, we the people must redeem the land, the mines, the plants, the rivers, the mountains, and the endless plain. All the stretch of these great green states and make America again. So for me, as I think for many of you all, you probably see clearly the parallels between today with all this going on and individuals seeking to be kings and tyrants and things like that. The people are poor. The only thing missing here for me in a serious way is that it should be inclusive and be gender inclusive and mention women as well as we go along, because I look at that in a generic sense. If he talks about men, he wrote about men. So there's a lot of stuff in there. So I'm still dissatisfied, disgruntled American and African American. And I don't call it Black History Month because there's no black land, there's no black continent, there is Africa, just like there's what? Italian Americans, Polish Americans, Russian Americans. So look, black is the, let me get this scientifically correct. White is the presence of all color, right? And black scientifically is the absence of color. So I just wanted to add that too. I'm finished. Thank you.
Hey,
All right.
Bill, those African skies are black. They are truly not absent. And what you see glittering are the stars, but what you see covered is the comfort of black.
Thank you.
That is beautiful because I'm
All right.
listening to your poem and it's so current today. But when you said men, every time you said it, I translated to universal.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Right. And I had to do that because I'm an egalitarian. Hey, I wouldn't be here without you all. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, who's next?
Kathy?
Kathy.
Okay. There's something to be said about not going first. My poem has been taken about 3 or 4 times, so thank God for Google.
Right, right.
My poem is Jazzonia. Jazzonia. Oh, silver tree, oh, shining rivers of the soul. In a Harlem cabaret, 6 long-headed jazzers play. A dancing girl whose eyes are bold lifts high a dress of silk and gold. Oh, singing tree, oh, shining rivers of the soul. Were Eve's eyes in the first garden just a bit too bold? Was Cleopatra gorgeous in a gown of gold? Oh, shining tree, oh, silver rivers of the soul. In a whirling cabaret, 6 long-headed jazzers play. And can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yes. I picked that up. I'm a musician and I love jazz. And we as a people, and music is universal. It crosses all racial lines, gender. That brings everyone together. It's the language of love and understanding. So I love that poem, Jazzonia. Thank you.
Great comeback.
Who's next?
Can I go, please?
Who is that? Anissa?
Anissa, yes. My poem was taken about 5 times already. Oh my gosh. So I found a poem by Langston Hughes called Dreams. So he said, hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a burden filled, frozen with no snow. So for the snow part, I just related that back to right now because it's snowing really crazy in Philly. I related that back to me because I'm the type of person, I'm really creative. I like to do different things. I just like to think out of the box with everything. More so, not really with dreams, but just doing things differently. So that was my 5th poem.
Nice. Very nice. And you know, before somebody takes mine, well,
hold it.
mine too.
She took you took my poem, Anisha, but I
I'm
want to.
sorry.
But no, that's fine. That's quite fine because it was short. I'm not going to be brief. But what I like about it is that when we find out so many Black lives find themselves struggling, and it's important to hold on to your dreams to keep hope alive. In other words, because life is always full of strife, and if you lived as long as we all did, you're going to know that. So you must hold on to your dreams if you're going to stay sane. Not only staying sane, but through all of these struggles that Langston Hughes talks about.
Okay, I'm going to go next.
You go now.
I put the picture up. That's Langston Hughes when he was a student at Lincoln University. And actually, I didn't know this until Susan Pivar said, yeah, that was taken at the president's house. I believe that's what you said, Susan. She may have stepped away.
Let me unmute here. Actually, that is at the train station.
Oh, at the train station. Okay.
Yeah.
probably students don't even know we're at the train station
Yeah,
anymore.
what train station?
Right.
Yeah, students used to get to Lincoln.
That's how everybody got there, down in the village. And you probably don't even know the village, but it's that area down Maple Avenue, past the chapel. You keep going down there, there's a black settlement there. But, you know, when Langston Hughes came to Lincoln, you know, he hated Columbia. I mentioned that. And he left and he went to Mexico, and then he did some traveling around the world on a steamship. And I think then you know, the lights came on, he realized he needed to get back to school. But, you know, he had been writing poetry for some time as a young man. And he was waiting tables, I understand, somewhere in maybe New Orleans or wherever. And there was a critic or a staff person from Knopf who was dining at the restaurant that evening. And Langston Hughes knew that this man was in the poetry section. And so he sort of dropped the poem on the table. And of course, the gentleman picked it up and submitted it to Opportunities magazine, which was the magazine of the NAACP. And he won first prize. And he took his prize money, and that enabled him to come to Lincoln on his own because he knew his father wouldn't pay for it. So I thought that was a great story. So since you took all mine, I went to the internet as well, Kathy, and I did find another poem that I like, which is Mother to Son. Well, son, I tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor, bare. But all the time I's been a climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you set down on those steps, 'cause you finds it kinda hard. Don't you fall now, for I still going, honey. I still climbing, for life for me ain't been no crystal stair. And I like that poem. You know, sometimes as parents, we tend to do a lot for our kids, and they look at us and think, well, it's pretty easy. You know, you made it, I'll make it too, doing minimal. And sometimes, you know, you have to turn around and say, wait a minute, let me tell you, it's not a crystal stair. It's tough. With Dwight, what you were saying, there's a lot of struggle, a lot of strife. But Langston had it in him, you know, you got to keep going because there's light, there's hope, there's things to do, there's places to go, there's things that you got to do to help our people. So that is, I think, a very inspiring poem.
Thank you.
I got a question for Sister Black before we move forward. Having been a member of the faculty at Columbia University and a dean there with Jack Greenberg and Kellis Parker, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and so on, what did he hate about Columbia? I mean, I know what I disliked about Columbia, but I tried to make Columbia a different place as the president of Columbia University Employees of Color, starting trouble, etc., before heading to Hampton University. What, Sister Black, was really a turnoff for him?
Well, I read a little bit about him. He went to Columbia. Well, of course, his dad said, you're going to become an engineer and you're going to go to Columbia. He said, okay, I'll go to Columbia because Harlem's there. And that's what he wanted.
To be in Harlem, okay.
And Columbia was nothing like Harlem. And I think many a time, I think he was the only Black person. Right. And he wasn't given much credibility at all, if he was even acknowledged. He just was not happy.
And remember, that was what year was that?
1922, 23.
Well, I don't need to tell you, I think any Black man wouldn't like it there. So.
Well, the funny part about it, without taking time unnecessarily, is that I had to keep reminding people at Columbia that Columbia University is in Harlem, and they kept saying Morningside Heights. I said,
right,
where's Morningside Heights?
Right.
I said, I lived on 110th Street and 104th Street. I said, y'all need to get out of this. Columbia is in Harlem. Case closed.
Right. Okay, who did we not hear from yet? Taylor, did you bring a poem?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry. I've been having some issues with my audio, so I've been trying to like get that together.
We hear you
Can
fine. Yeah, we hear
Oh,
you fine.
good.
Uh-huh.
Great. I'm not sure if anyone had this poem already, but it's called Harlem Dreams Deferred.
Yes, they did. But what you can do, if you want to make a comment on it, or if you have a second one.
I don't have a second one. All of my other ones were taken up, but
What did you like about Dreams Deferred?
Because no one ever really, well, in my opinion, I haven't heard about anyone ever asking like what happened to those dreams that ever gotten deferred, if that makes sense.
No, explain, tell me what you mean.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Great question, Shelton.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor, sorry.
An example of a dream deferred. Who wants to answer that?
I'm sorry, I cannot hear anything.
First class citizenship in America.
Yeah.
Hello?
For people of color.
Yeah.
Keep dreaming.
I think she's having trouble hearing.
Trouble with their audio. Okay. Thanks, Taylor. Who didn't we not hear from? I think we heard from everybody then. Susan, how about you?
I didn't come prepared.
Okay, all right.
I was just now looking to see whether it was on the, I suddenly remembered, oh, this would be one that nobody else would have, but now I'm not finding it either. And then that's at Langston Hughes. I have this memory that there's a little published book from I thought it was from the 1950s, maybe it's from the 1960s, of Lincoln University poets. Oh no, wait, it was Langston Hughes wrote a poem for the Lincoln Centennial, and the archives has, it's really cool, different drafts of it. And I thought that maybe I had digitized that and put that online, but I'm not finding it. If it were there, it would be on the HBCU Digital Library, and I'm not finding it there. So I may look some more later. I'm looking on my iPhone, and so maybe I'm just not seeing it because, anyway. So I just thought that was a cool thing. If I find it by Thursday, I'll certainly show it to people, but I have a feeling since I'm not seeing it here, it may be that it was not digitized. And if it wasn't, it's probably because of copyright concerns or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But it was just kind of neat because you saw different drafts of how, writing something, and then he had words crossed out, and then he'd have a new draft typed up, and there were several. I forget how many.
Actually, I wanted to ask you a question because, I'm looking back trying to do a history of the AALU, and it's very hard finding who the officers were. But then I ended up looking at a 1946 directory, and I saw that the AALU historian was Langston Hughes. And I just fell over in my chair.
Oh, wow.
So what I want to know is, where are those papers? He must have written something. I mean, if he was a historian, there's a history somewhere, I'm thinking. So I don't know if you've run across it in the library or not, but maybe you might want to take a look for us.
Carol?
Yes.
We should give Dr. Button a chance to either recite something that she's fond of.
Oh, I thought she was just going to go with that audio, but certainly.
Oh, I said, or that.
Yeah. Another audio I was going to share. I did the same thing with my students today. And if you'd like a little bit of music, I like Weary Blues. And I have a recording of Cab Calloway and Langston. So with your permission, I'd like to share my screen again and just give us a little bit of musical.
Great. And he published that book soon after he finished, he graduated from Lincoln.
There you go. Oh, wait, that's the end. Hold on. Here we go. We're going to go into New York now. Just chill, everybody.
Okay.
Come on. You can do this. Oh, here we go. Why is it not clicking on?
It's probably the internet. Is it on the internet, YouTube?
Yeah.
It's probably just bandwidth, maybe.
Oh boy, I had it all. It works. Believe me. Okay, we'll try this. Hold on. Oh, it's frozen. Isn't that something? I'm so sorry.
Press the arrow. Press that.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's okay. So what I'm going to do is pull this back. Oh, the whole thing's frozen. Oh, great.
Jeez.
Yeah, that
Hey.
happens.
Susan, what's the title? I mean, Dr. Button, what's the title? Maybe I can get it or somebody else. Oh, you
Oh,
have.
I have the words here, Weary Blues, but it's set to music. Is that what you have?
That's what you had. Yeah.
Because I have it in front of me.
Can you share your screen then?
The Weary Blues is what it is the title.
Go ahead.
Share your screen, Bill. You've got the music.
No, I don't have the music. I just have the printed poem.
Okay.
So I can't really help, and I don't think reading it would have the same effect as the video. Yeah, the music, but it does focus clearly on the syncopated tune down on Lenox Avenue the other night. Those weary blues, the tune, etc., swaying to and fro on his rickety stool and on and thump thump thump. He played a few chords, so but set to music would be much better.
I got it, everybody.
Yay.
Okay. All right.
Try this one more time.
Sure.
Is my screen up there?
No, not yet.
Okay. Okay. Righty.
You're not sharing though.
I know, I'm trying to share. Here.
Oh, trying to get it up there first, right?
I'm sharing. And
Here we go. Okay.
I'm gonna play it.
Just went out.
Oh, that's the end again. Hold on. Oh, I see what happened. I think I know what happened. Okay, just a second.
From a black man's soul.
Marvelous. We're almost there. All right, here we go. Oh, all right, so this is a bomb. Sorry. Okay, so anyway, it's poetry by Langston Hughes. It's The Weary Blues. You can find it on YouTube, and it is a wonderful performance. And I'm so sorry it didn't work. It did. Okay, so let's move on to our next event here. Carol has a wonderful PowerPoint that kind of overviews everything we're doing. And so we're ready for that.
Okay.
Susan, I forgot something. This is Ajua. You asked about sayings. One of my favorite sayings is by Langston Hughes. It was from a book I read maybe shortly after leaving Lincoln in '79. And the saying of the book was "not without laughter."
Oh, there you go.
As you know that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I use the expression a lot with my scholars and people when we're going through all kinds of changes. And then I have to go on to tell them why there are two negatives in a sentence. Mm-hmm. And actually I learned about the two negatives in a sentence when I was in the 11th grade at a motivation program in South Philadelphia. So it was not without laughter. And sure and behold, it still stands the test of time. No matter what we're going through, no matter how devastating, the rhythm of people, and especially African Americans or Africans, always found laughter. Black people, okay?
Yes.
That's for Bill. Always found the humor in something when other people couldn't understand why.
My favorite,
not without laughter.
My favorite essay in that collection is the one where he's in Mississippi and he can't stay in a hotel, so he goes to stay with his friends. And his friends have prepared the home and they've re-plastered the bathtub. So he gets in the bathtub and it's not dried yet. So he leaves his signature in the house on the.
Oh God.
So that's one of my favorites.
Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I found this theme, which I loved it, but it was in a foreign language. So sometimes the instructions are in, I don't know, what look like hieroglyphics to me, but I at least was able still to use the artwork. And so this is just some background on where we are. We sort of talked about this before, but I was appointed the historian in July of 2019. And then I began to pull together a group of, it turns out, 16 alumni, friends, and a retired faculty member who was Dr. Winchester. And they said, oh, this sounds like a great idea. It's everybody's volunteering to help document, preserve, and share the absolutely awesome history of the Alumni Association. And since its founding in the 1870s. And this was our initial history project committee. You've met most of these people. Some you haven't, some are traveling right now. And some have work obligations, but they should be here. And you can see most of them are in the 60s and the 70s just because I'm so old, I happen to know these folks better than the younger folks. They're also, I know them as writers. And so we came up with, what are we trying to do here? So we wanted to do a brief history of the Alumni Association. That's the goal. And then we said, well, how are we going to do it? What do we do? What do we need to do? And so we thought, let's develop some topics of research, determine the time period that we're going to use, identify some primary sources and resources, determine what citation system we're going to use. And I think, Bill, you suggested the Chicago system.
Yeah, it's K-Turabian, but I'm not wedded to that MLA style, whatever.
So we're still gonna have to make a decision there. But
right.
I understand those are the biggies.
Yeah, you get more information with the Chicago style in terms of documentation, as opposed to the open parentheses and the page numbers and whatever. No, Dr. Buttons, I know this may use the MLA style. I don't know.
Okay, but we decided these really are going to be scholarly articles for the world to see. We just want to make sure that we're complying with, editing and citations.
Right.
And we thought too, it'd be a great idea if we could involve students, because that would help give the students research experience. But we wanted it for academic credit, never thinking that would ever be possible. But we thought, well, if they could just get one credit, that's better than no credits. And Dr. Button's just wonderful because she's created this course. She went to the bat force, went to the dean, went upstairs wherever she had to go. And here comes this 3-credit course, which you all are part of. And so we thought we could have this done by May of 2021, which isn't very far away, which is why we're kind of pushing right now. But we're going to see how close we can get to that. And so these are some of the research topics. Most of us today don't know who the former AALU presidents are. So we want to really inform so that we don't have to walk around ignorant, to put it mildly. We thought there's probably been some AALU presidents, and you can see the list, the founders, the organizers of the AALU. And one of the persons that I'm researching is, oh brother, come on, Carol, Nathan Moselle. He was very instrumental in organizing alumni, particularly in Philadelphia. And it appears he actually organized the Philadelphia chapter. And one of their main goals was to get Blacks on the faculty and on the board of trustees, because there were none at the time. Find out where our alumni traditions came from. Where did Lions come from? And we have many chapters throughout the country. We just want to get some basic information on how they were formed. Many things in the life of an alum, including our class reunions every 5 years, which are the best, the most fun in the whole world. Of course, there's an alumni picnic every year. There have been major gifts to the university from alumni, one of which is the Memorial Arch. We want to look at some of the alumni programs throughout the years. And actually, in my opinion, it seems like the chapters had the big programs. They had these big fundraisers. It wasn't so much on the campus, but it was out in the states. We had some affiliated groups, the Ladies Auxiliary, and that happens to be Ajua's interest. She was a member. I was a member of the Ladies Auxiliary because at the time when I was there, you could not belong to the men's organizations. And then we thought it'd be great just to have alumni, just give reflections of the time that they were at Lincoln or beyond. and alumni history makers, which is the bio sketches, which is really going to be the work of the students. And if there are more topics, we'll add them here. Our time periods, we thought would do 30-year time spans through the years that you see there from 1870 up to the present. And Bill Wiggins is working on the very first 30 years, 1870 to 1900. We don't have anybody working on the rest, but we're going to hope to rectify that soon. And of course, we thought, okay, what are the things, the resources that you absolutely must touch, if not do more than touch, but read and refer to while you're doing this work. And this is for mentors as well as students. And I put at the top of the list Horace Mann Bond's book, Education for Freedom. I happened to put it there because I had a personal stake in that book. It wasn't published when he was at Lincoln. It took a while. And Emory Wimbish in the library and some friends and on the campus. And he approached some of us who were recent alumni at the time for funding. And I was one of the funders, and my name is actually in the front of that book. So when you look at it, you look to see who the contributors were, and I am there. Dr. Cheryl Renee Gooch has 2 wonderful books on Africa's lands. And it's the Forgotten Stories of 2 Lincoln-educated missionaries in Liberia, and they are on our list for bio sketches. And also her work on Hensonville Heroes, which are Black Civil War soldiers in Chester County. Dr. Jod Johanna's book, Lincoln University Legendary Light, and I do have a copy here. And anybody, I'm pretty sure it's in the library. Is the library open? It was not open when we started. It's open now?
No, but I asked about it. It is in the library.
It is in the library. Okay, good. Are all these in the library, Doctor?
As far as I know. And I'm wondering if there isn't did Johannes do 2 books?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he did Unfailing Legacy.
There you go. That we need that one too.
Okay, I'll add that. As a matter of fact, I meant to do that, and my copy, I have another house in Chester County and I left it there, and I didn't want to, there were several editors, and I wanted to make sure I named them, and I couldn't remember who they were. And then Dr. Martin Kilson and Dr. Levi Nwachukwu's book, The Pride of the Lions, and they take up where Dr. Bond left off. So they take from 1945 to 2007. And hopefully you will buy these books and make sure they are in your library for life. Okay. And then other resources, the special collections, the online documents, and Susan is an archivist, and she was our former archivist and librarian at Lincoln, and she's going to be doing a virtual tour of that collection so that you'll become familiar with it. Dr. Farrell was my English professor when I was at Lincoln, and he happened to be executive secretary of the Alumni Association for years. I don't know how many, but I would think over 20, maybe 30 years. We cannot find his files. So if we ever find them, that will be a great resource. And also online now are the student newspaper and the yearbooks, at least coming up maybe to 1980, which is fine. And then there's Lincoln University bulletins and catalogs and the alumni affairs files. So those are resources available to us as we do our research. And if you have others, we can include them. And here's my appreciation slide to Susan for the virtual tour that she's done already for us who are on the committee, and she's going to do for you, actually begin on Thursday, I think.
Wow.
And Dr. Button, of course, who's just, I call her our angel.
Yeah.
She was just very instrumental in getting this course approved and getting the credits for you. And so here, just a chart of the students. I should call that mentees and mentors. I keep forgetting. I'm going to change that to mentees. And here you're paired up according to the way things are right now. That may change, but this is pretty much who you will be interacting with for your mentors. And the mentors will know who your students are. And you're all going to get a copy of this so that you'll have it. And I have to take that picture. I think that was last week. You probably saw me taking that picture. I'll take some more. And so these were the bio sketch suggestions, and for For students, if you couldn't think of anybody, we have a list that you may choose from. There are 31 alumni that we think are really history makers and are important for us to know. Yes, Bill?
You know me as a historian. You wouldn't be thinking that any of those dates would have anything in front of them other than 1-9, right? Like from
Right.
19 something. You
Right.
gotta get Christian. Got to put a 1-8.
1-8. Yeah, a lot of these people are 1-8s. For instance, on this page, the Grimke brothers are 1870.
Okay, so right, that's another one. That's right.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
you know, just so we won't be
Right.
thinking of this, because you don't think of that, you know.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'll make the correction.
Just an observation, not a
Yeah.
criticism. All right.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And what we thought we would do, we didn't say this to the students before. We'd like each of you to take 3 of these alumni. I'm probably going to go ahead and just assign so that all of you can maybe do at least 2 paragraphs about each one. We'll share that in a Zoom class, and that might help you make your selection of the alum that you would most like, the 1 or 2 alums that you'd most like to write about. Let's see, was the next page. 16, I didn't go back one, I think. And that should have been Dr. William Fontaine. Yeah, and should have been Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. I need to change that. And you see some pretty important people here. And there's another one, 1858 for James Ralston Amos.
Oh, yeah.
And for Dr. George Cannon, that's 1893.
Do we have Thomas up there? Thomas Amos, his brother?
Yes, I didn't put the brother in. We could. There's just more about James
Then Thomas, okay.
than Thomas, yeah.
Or you can make them the both,
Could do them together. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
And Reverend, this is Paul Robeson's father. That should be 1873.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Adrienne Roan is 1976. She was the first woman to chair the Board of Trustees. Let me see. These are all 19s. Yeah. Ambassador Dawson is still alive and kicking, doing great. So I'm hoping that one of you will choose him. He's in Baltimore. And of course, you saw who's there on this page is Dr. Ezekaway and Thurgood Marshall. So they're up for grabs. And on this page, to see if anybody, I forgot, Howard King is class of 66. I will have to add that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on here is, yes, they're all 1900s.
Oh, can I correct something there?
Sure.
It's Gayrode Wilmore. That you're talking about Steve Wilmore's dad.
Oh, yes, you're right. That should be Wilmore.
And it's R-A-U-D, Gayrode. I believe is how he spells it. And of course,
Yes.
it's Wilmore.
Wilmore.
Yeah.
Yeah, his son was actually in our class, right, Rob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
67, and I have no idea. Has the class lost track of him? I have no idea
What Steve?
where
Yeah.
he is or what he's
No,
doing.
we don't know. And when he was alive, I actually called Reverend Dr. Wilmore, and he didn't know where Steve was.
Mm.
That was one of those
Oh.
situations.
Yeah. I know. At one point, I think he was hanging out in Philadelphia at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime after
Tried to
graduation.
track him down, but just couldn't. And I'm hoping he's still out there somewhere and we'll be able to find him. He was a great guy.
Oh, you know who else? What about your cousin, Ron?
Yes, he's
Wilbur?
with us. He's with us in this project.
Oh, great. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay.
Yeah, he's a mentor. He's super busy, so we're going to have to we're going to relax the requirements for him a bit, but we're going to keep him involved. He's currently overseeing 3 dissertations, even though he's retired.
I was going to say he's retired, right?
Yeah, but not very retired in terms of what he's doing.
I have
so-
some other books that I maybe should share with you. Are you familiar with Dr. Walkman's book?
Oh my goodness,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
It has a chapter on Lincoln. So, I mean, it's, you know,
Is that the one, The Education of a President?
of a university president,
Yes.
right?
Dr. Walkman was the president when we were there in the 60s, and he always said he learned far more about the world
At
than
Lincoln.
he was able to teach students
Yeah.
at Lincoln.
And I'm sure that must be in the library. Another
Yeah.
one that I know is in the library is my master's thesis, which is also about Lincoln. And
Oh,
it's
it
about
is.
the
Well, Susan,
transition
wait a
to-
minute. What's the name of it?
It has this long title. It's called Unwelcome Stepchild. Let me see. Let me read it. A historically Black university's reluctant adoption of coeducation in the mid-20th century civil rights era.
Fantastic.
And the book that, again, I participated in this. It was the same time, I mean, my thesis, it was basically based on the same research. Going Co-ed, which has a chapter about Lincoln University. It's a book about women's experiences in formerly men's colleges and universities from 1950 to 2000. I'm pretty sure that's in the library, but I
Did you write that, Susan?
I co-authored the chapter about Lincoln University because it just, there's one chapter. There's a chapter about HBCUs in general, and then there's a chapter about Lincoln University. And I co-authored that with Leslie Miller Bernal, who was the wife of Martin Bernal, the author of Black and White.
I'm so sorry. Let me get this done. Oh, sorry. Jeez.
It's possible to scan those and make a PDF of the articles so that we can post that on Canvas. And I'm thinking we might want to do that also with the first chapter of Gooch's book and possibly even chapters from Bond, because they're just not available. The Bond book is simply not available.
Yeah. I mean, with all the talk over the years of reprinting that, getting it digitized, it's so sad it ever happened. Well, is the library open or is the library not open? Is there staff working in the library now? Because they're the ones that should be doing this, frankly. I mean, I'm not going to volunteer to do it. It's too complicated. I mean,
Okay.
No,
I have that book. That's not a problem. The problem, I don't have the copies of your books. I'm sure they're in the library though.
Yeah,
right?
that's the thing is I can check. If it's not in the library, then I would consider doing it. But if it's in the library, I think that's something for the library staff to do if they're working, which I don't know.
Great.
Yes, Susan mentioned for the students, you mentioned Dr. Walkman. And I think he should be included in the biography because many of you may not know, but he was recommended to be president by Thurgood Marshall and who was the other guy? I think Ralph Bunche. They recommended him to be president of Lincoln. And so I think that history is interesting. And also he was the white president and at a time when in the 60s. So that his story is definitely interesting.
I mean, he was a great president.
And he was right. He was a
wonderful president.
Right. In fact, we chased him out of there. You want to know the truth? Not because, and it was the times. There's an interesting story when Martin Luther King, he was there when Martin Luther King was assassinated. And a lot of the students took out, a lot of the anger on him, so it's interesting the times that story should be told. And maybe.
Well, did he help to bring Charles Hamilton to campus?
Yes, he did.
Absolutely. He was the one who, he was very.
He brought Charles Hamilton. He brought James Palmer.
Yeah.
He also brought the people with the African Institute there.
Yes.
Who brought in people from
Dr. Stevens. Yes.
People from Southern Africa like Mozambique and Angola. Spanish
African Center. Yes.
Yeah. So he made it possible for all of us to get a lot of exposure.
Right.
Through the kinds of hires that he made and other types of programming that he supported.
Right. So I would recommend in terms of you could have white presence or white influence at Lincoln. That would be an interesting story to tell.
Well, yeah, I will add him. I think you're right. You're right. And he has a daughter living in Kennett Square.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Oh,
qualify as an alumnus?
Hmm?
Does he qualify as an alumnus?
No.
No, but a president, he was a president. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jess, is that we're working right
right,
now.
I got you.
Alumni.
I
Yeah,
got,
that's
I got you. I got you. I got you. Well, hey, you can't tell everybody. That's true.
true.
Well, my way of doing it was say if alum wants to do reflections and include in the reflections
Right.
their experience with,
Okay.
you know,
Right,
Dr.
right.
Wachman or any faculty member, you could do it that way.
Yes,
We are
that's true.
trying to.
That's true. Okay.
I'd like to add something, please, and that is we have a collection of student essays in the works,
Mhm.
parallel nature, the title of which is Moments of Crisis at Lincoln University. And it sounds to me like the moment that you just described of President Walkman's departure, preceded by all that goes with it and so forth, might be an interesting. I would be willing to entertain such an article for this particular publication.
Okay, that's good.
Good, good. And coming back to slide 18, since you're all going to have this, got the contact information for all the mentors. And then, of course, following that is for mentees. Now, I do not have your guys' phone numbers. And so if you could put those numbers in the chat, then I can finish this chart. I hope I've got everybody's name spelled correctly and make sure your emails are correct. I know some of you, I use your personal emails. Some of you use Lincoln. I don't know if you have a preference, but I just chose the one that was, whatever you sent me an email in the last 2 weeks, that's the email address that I included. And this is the alumni mentors, and we are writing as well. And so these are the areas that have been chosen. I think I mentioned them. Dwight, you talked about Dr. William Fontaine. I don't know whether you're going to do him or you're going to do something else. I just put
Right.
that there and I can change.
Right, I got you. I'm talking to Kaya
Okay.
because I'm working on her preference,
Okay.
So
All right. But we're all writing. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to see if we can get some more alumni because there's some other areas that need to be covered in topics that nobody has taken. And yet I'd like to have that done. Okay, let me see. Is that the last one? Oh, got one more. Oh my God. Hey, Charmin, you gonna come on Zoom? We're in,
do we have something now? I just got.
Yes, it's on
Okay.
now. You can come in now.
Okay.
All right. See ya.
Okay, let me try.
All
Okay,
right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Sorry, guys. And these are some other alumni mentor. Not all of these alumni are mentors. These are people who are writing and have, we haven't asked them to mentor yet. Actually, Leonard, it should be Reverend Doctor, and I don't think I spelled Leonard correctly.
Yeah, Leonard is, I think, L-E-O.
Leonard.
right.
He's already gotten a book. He's written a book on great Lincoln sports. Alum athletes. So we're going to ask him, can we borrow maybe something he's already done? And Dr. But you'll have to let us know, can we reprint something with permission, or do we really need to stick with original stuff?
That's up to you.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
I think Montero is E-I-R-O, by the way.
E-I-R. Okay, I'll fix that.
Is he doctor?
Yes, he is.
I thought so.
Yeah. Matter of fact, his
In fact,
specialty.
Dave Clausen is probably doctor, right?
He should be doctor as well. Absolutely. Tony is an expert on W.E.B. Du Bois. I know he probably had 10,000 articles, but I really thought he should write something maybe on his student days at Lincoln because he was very much an activist. I don't know if you guys remember the SGA competition for president that year.
Yes.
But it was fierce. I mean, they were all great candidates in there. I think they're all maybe 5 votes apart. But they were like the best orators, the best students. It was really hard to make a decision. He won.
Just one correction, Carol.
Yeah.
I was on Tony's ticket as the vice president. And I wasn't very articulate at that time.
I got you.
Because Rob, you were vice president, weren't you?
I didn't make it. I was on. Tony won as president over Mitch, and then Robbie won. I think he beat me out for
Yeah.
vice president.
I mean, you were all great. I mean, it was tough. It was really tough.
Yeah.
And that's the end. Edward, slide 21. So I'll be adding things. Dr. Button is working on a syllabus, and any students of anything else you want to include, we certainly can do that. So I'm going to stop sharing here. Are there any questions on anything I've said? Oh, there's, oh, wait a minute, there is another slide. Wait a minute, 21. Oh, I put class meeting times. You already know these. Mondays, it's one-on-one at 5 or at any other mutually convenient time during the week or the weekend with your mentor. And I've said, you can use Zoom, FaceTime, Duo, phone, whatever, however you can get together. I know we're all in various parts of the earth. And then Thursdays is a group class. And we are putting together presentations, for Thursdays alone. Okay, that is it. There's the syllabus. It'll come in. Okay.
So our presentation on Thursday of this week will be Susan Pivar is going to go over archival resources in the library. So that's we're looking forward to that, and that's we'll just take it week by week. Then the next Monday we are not there, and the following Thursday we thought the following. Given these topics, we propose that students identify 3, and that would divvy up all of the available names, and do preliminary research in a week. In other words, by next, not this Thursday, but the following Thursday, they would present a paragraph or so about the person so that they know what they're dealing with. So we're talking about a short preliminary, who is this person kind of paragraph that students would share on the second Thursday meeting, not this week, but the next.
Let's get a date so we are not confused here. That would be the 11th?
Yeah.
Okay. So Susan would be on the 4th, okay.
Susan's on the 4th and the 11th, and I'll put that in the calendar. And yes, I know that we need a calendar, and that's forthcoming as I just wanted to not put it on before.
Great. Okay.
I just have a quick question. I had seen on the last slide that class started at 5. I was just wondering what time did it end?
Well, we are a talkative bunch and we keep going. Technically, it's over at 6:15, so we're about 10 minutes over today. But if you need to go, I know that dinner is an issue. If you need to go, you can go, certainly. And we'll try to honor the time frame as best we can. Mondays, again, are up to you and your mentor.
Okay.
Now, how do you suggest that the subjects be identified? How should we manage that? Carol, do you have any suggestions?
Well, I was going to do the easiest one. Every 3, draw a line and just take the students alphabetically.
Well,
real creative, I know.
Now, are there some that have already been identified? For example, Dwight, did you say you'd gotten far in a conversation with Kaya or not?
Yes. Kaya, would you like to speak? Wait. Would you like to speak? Because when I spoke, let me say, when I spoke to Kaya, of course, I told her that I'm working with her, and of course, I want her to do what she likes to do, not what I like to do. And I do teach philosophy, and I was talking about Fontaine, but in my conversation with her, she likes music. And so I was a year under me, and I knew him, on a talk on a talk basis.
Who, Dwight?
Gil.
Oh,
Gil Scott.
Oh, Gil, Scott,
Yeah,
Scott Heron, okay.
yeah, yes, yeah. She talked about music, and like I said, I know him, and I lived in New York, and of course, that's
Right.
where he's from, and so she mentioned that, and I talked about Kilson because politics, and I also talked about Fontaine, and now, Miss Punter, you can tell them what I said. Of course, you can tie it into politics and all of that, what you're saying. But you can go ahead, say what you.
There were some top. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. There were some people that he introduced to me, like Charles Hamilton and
Right.
Martin Kilsing and William Fontaine. I personally, as he said, wanted to go more so in the music direction with Joe Scott Heron, excuse me. And now that I just heard that Langston Hughes had this type of a musical influence, I don't know. My mind is going back and forth on what I should do.
That's why we want you all to bring information about each one preliminarily, so that you know who they are, and it just may whet your appetite. Oh, okay, I'd like to do this person because of that.
Not a final assignment, Carol. This is just everybody needs to get the lay of the land, and
right. That's all.
Feel it. I suppose if you come as we assign these, as if someone has a burning desire to do certain people, such as what Kai's just identified, it's sort of first up best dressed.
Right. Well,
based on the list that we put up, send the chat about somebody that you'd like. But remember, we want you to do 3.
Right.
3. Okay. Pick 3.
Right.
And I'm going to send you all this PowerPoint as soon as we finish, so you'll have it.
So, Carol, why don't you just name the people, and then students, as you figure out, you have to do the 3 that you're given, even if you don't pursue. Right. But as you decide on your long range, this is the person I want to write my article on. If you write an email to me and Carol copied, so that we both get your request, and we'll assign them in the order in which the people are claimed.
Okay.
For the actual writing.
The actual writing.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Right now, students, you're just going to we're going to assign 3 people. Carol, over to you.
Yeah, and I will do that. You want me to do it now?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, let me bring this up here again. Let's see.
So while you're doing that, Carol, let me just get some clarification.
Yeah.
So the students will be assigned 3 initial alumni to do some brief research on.
That's right.
Prepare a short statement about each of the 3 that they are assigned. And eventually they will select 1 for a full auto sketch. Is that the idea, or they would be doing 3?
Oh, no, they can not, doesn't have to be 1 in the 3. It can be any one.
Okay.
Well, I think his question is how many in the end should a student expect to do? We initially said 2.
2. Yeah, we did.
Okay, so each student will be doing 2 sketches of alumni and their contributions to the Alumni Association.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. And then secondly, so as mentors, we will be working with those 2 students to get those papers in publishable shape.
Right, the 2 papers, yes.
Yes, and then as mentors, our second role is to produce a paper on one of the topics related to the Alumni Association.
Correct.
Okay. So we will be working with the students on an individual basis, weekly, and then we come together as a group, and during that group presentation on Thursdays, the agenda is that they will be reporting on the stages of their research, the status of their research, the progress of their work. Is that the general idea?
I think that is the general idea, but we really want to bring guests in, like alumni.
Okay.
So that they have just like additional resources.
Yeah. Well, and I think what I'll do is as we clarify these assignments, we will reserve specific Thursdays for reporting status. certainly this, at least before midterms, we'll give some dates on that, not to worry.
It's not fair right in the beginning to say, okay, tell us what how your research is going, because you're just getting started. So probably won't be maybe for another, maybe 3-4 weeks that we'll start more, intently. Because all of us can refer, to make suggestions if needed. But I think your mentors are going to they're going to do a great job.
So let's, we probably need to get going because of the dinner time.
Okay, so I'm just doing every 3, and I'm going to come down alphabetically. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
And while you're doing that, Dr. Buttons, Sister Black, I'm still looking for, unless you sent it out already, the semester calendar, and we really need a syllabus that provides us with all the step-by-step information you just mentioned. So a syllabus, and I know that you had put up, you screen shared with us the document that you put together for the course. But I think it would be good for all of us to have that. Now, if it's been sent and I missed it, then hopefully I can find it. But I looked through my Gmail accounts and I can't find that. I know you shared a number of things with us on the screen, but I'm hoping that you'll send the course syllabus and the calendar. And as you said, you'll be sending us the details that you just gave us, because otherwise there may be some confusion about when things are due. I don't want to put burden on you, but it'd be.
I've already started to do that. That's exactly what we plan to do. But the syllabus, I couldn't do the syllabus before we got some of these ideas solidified.
Right.
Okay.
Those details are forthcoming very shortly.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Right, this is a first ever class. It's not like we can reach into the syllabus, a safe locker and pull out one. We're really creating this as we go. And that really makes it exciting, I think.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm going to go down the first 3 will be Anissa, Barbara McNish, and that's Fontaine. And it's Fontaine, Kilson, and Bruce Wright.
Carol, could you share your screen so we can see them listed so they can then copy?
Okay, let me get it back up here. Okay, let me see. Whoops. Where is it? Okay. What do I do? Close the thing? Hold on. Wait a minute. I get it back. Okay, screen share. Is my screen share up?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Here it is.
There we go. So let me get that. Where are they? Okay. Okay, so the first 3, that's Anissa, Fontaine, Kilson, and Wright. Let me see, can I write on here? Oh, I'm not gonna mess it up. And then the next 3, Saraya Coley, Sheila Oliver, and Christian Fleetwood. That would be Tamara Chalmers. Got that? And the next 3, Kwame Nkrumah and the Grimke brothers. That would be Shania Dubose.
Okay, so why is Kwame not included with Ezekwe and Thurgood when they're all in the same?
Sort of, they are. Just
go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, this was just as they were thrown out and they didn't all come out together. Okay, then the next 3 is Selma Hill, William Credit, and Horace Mann Bond. That would be Mia, Joseph. Oh, let me tip this, remove that. Oh, for God's sake.
Real quick, Dr. Button, Teller says that she hasn't received the lectures from last Thursday.
I haven't sent it out. That's because my Zoom did not record it.
Oh, okay.
So we got the next, that was Thelma Hill, William Credit, and Horace Mann Bond. That was Mia, right? And then the next three are Kaya Mosley. That's James Ralston Amos, Dr. George Cannon, and Reverend William Drew Robeson. That's Kaya Mosley.
And she also said that she works on Thursday, so it's going to be hard to attend class on Thursday.
Oh, who does?
Taylor.
Oh.
Miss Black, could you repeat the last one for me?
For Kaya Mosley.
For me.
Who's me?
Mia Joseph.
Oh, Mia. You are Thelma Hill, Dr. William Credit, and Dr. Horace Mann Bond.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Kaya, you got your three, right?
Yes, I took a picture.
Oh, good. And the next three is Deja, and that's Adrian Roan, Gil Scott Heron, and Ambassador Horace Dawson. And the next three are Kyla Punter, that's Gregory Jenkins, Ndami Azikiwe, and Langston Hughes. Oh no. Okay, and Thurgood Marshall.
It's my people.
Yeah, Marshall. Okay.
It's Marshall. So I've got my notes. I'm looking at it different. Gregory Azikiwe. I gotta change this. I got a draft, so I got a little bit different in Thurgood. Okay, and that was for Kaya Punter. You got that, Kaya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the next one. And we're gonna have some people left over. Abigail, Nazira, you're next. And that would be Charles Saunders, Franklin Williams, and Howard King. Got that?
Yes.
Okay. The next one would be Abigail. That's Carl Dickerson, William Bennett, and Donald Bogle. And Taylor. Well, I don't know. What should I do for Taylor? She's not going to be here. Is she not going to be any Thursday?
I'm sorry, Taylor comes late, I think. Are you talking about Taylor Shelton?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, do we give her 3 for next week or not? I mean,
we should.
We should, okay. So then that would be Poindexter, Johnson, and Harris. So that just leaves one left. Let me make that little more.
Will you add a slide to this with the names before you send it out to us?
Yeah, I will.
Great.
Susan, how'd you say you spell Gayrod? Susan? Okay, well, that's good enough. And who feels industrious would take him in addition to the 3 that they have? Nobody. I can understand that one. Well, let's leave him out for a while. No problem. Okay, good enough. Everybody understand what you need to do?
Thank you so much.
Sure. And it's 6:45. Boy, we are really beyond time for young people, I know, and old people.
Right. Thank you so much, everyone, for patience and for sticking out around. I think we got a lot accomplished, and I think we have some clear direction. Everybody has contact information. If you have any questions, contact your mentor, your mentee, Carol, or myself. Okay?
Okay.
And happy birthday, Langston.
Yes, indeed. And thank you for your diligence and your recitations. It was wonderful.
Yes, that was very, very enriching.
Okay.
Everyone.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.